Hello everyone to another video on 5 style and in this I'll be summarizing the feedback that you guys have been giving over the past few months. So this feedback is about what you feel about this alg and what are like your views about it. Is it an overkill, underkill? Is it tough to do it, impossible to do it? Is it insane, not insane? Is it like too much to handle, or is it infeasible? Is it outrageous? It is like provocative, or just too crazy genius, or just a dumb thing to do, waste of time. Whatever you want to say, you can say it in this feedback form. So this feedback is still open after the video is released, so you can fill it up afterwards as well. So the question is, you just have to give your name, and then I get to know a bit about you. So these are the next two questions. So first is about what do you prefer? Do you prefer more algorithms, or do you prefer good TPS and turning style? And then whatever your main event is, you can fill it up. And then this is a really nice question that I've made, is how many algs you are willing to learn for your main event. So if your main event is cube, you'll learn in few hundreds. If your main event is BLD, you'll learn all those 818 event algs which are in 3 style. And yeah, like it depends. And now this question is nice. It tests that do you really think marginal improvements are good? So this question says that do you think ZBLL is good and faster than OLL plus PLL? People had various responses. And then this question is a bit tricky. People may not want to answer this. So it's like, if you do learn new algs, does it improve your pattern recognition? So that's it. And this question is what I think many people didn't think of, and when I just showed the questions to them, they had a mixed response. Mostly people just said that I'll just have the alg sheet loaded on the computer and have a normal cube, but 5 years down the line, the other 3 options might be the case of how people learn algorithms. And then these are the last 3 questions, I must say, like 1, 2 and 3, where people wrote paragraphs about what they feel about this alg set. Is it doable? Is it not? If they were taking up this project, how would they like manage their time and effort? This is also an interesting question that I've put in between, is if you have a chance to relearn the Rubik's Cube, how would you do it? So do you make a structured way of learning it, or do you just try and gain intuition and then build up on that? And other feedback, not necessary that you should. So let me go over the summary. People had mixed response. So people, let's say about finger tricks, like people who wanted good algorithms and finger tricks were around like 60-ish%, whereas the rest of the people, the people who wanted good turning style were around 60%, whereas the rest of the 40% wanted finger tricks and more algorithms. And people's main event was quite different. So you can see 3x3 is there, and this is the olive. So there are also 3BLDers participating. 18% is for 3BLD, but a lot of 3x3 solvers. And people about how many algs they are willing to learn for the main event. So like around 29 people voted 500 algs, 1000 people, 15 people voted 1000 algs. So yeah, it varies. Mostly people are willing to learn a lot of algs, so that's clear from this. And like 60, almost 70% people feel that learning ZBLL is good because you improve over OLL and PLL. 30% disagree. And this is a whooping 90%, 88% people feel that after learning more algorithms, your pattern recognition increases. And yeah, this is what I said, that most 77% of the people feel that the way of learning new algorithms is just to have a normal cube and just have an alg sheet loaded. Yeah, and now I'm coming to the feedbacks, and I'll read one by one. It might take a while. So first of all, I won't be reading about letter chords because many people don't know that much about letter chords. I might read one or two of them, and also I won't be reading about this future feedback. So let's get to it. So So yeah, one person wrote that it's a good idea, but it's too long to learn. And I think with full floating and full LTCT, we can do the same with 5 style, because algs are not finger trick friendly. The time to learn the algs is really long. You must be really motivated if you want to learn the set. With all the work, you may be able to solve cube blindfolded faster, but by too few. English is a bit off, but yeah, I get the point. Okay, now the next response is, I would be interested in learning some algs for the case that have nice algs, or maybe learn some algs for the case that are more frequent. I think so, like cases which are symmetric in 5 style, they are like the easy ones like mu, m prime, u prime, they are a bit more frequent, bit. It's tough to know because you have to know the cube geometry a bit, but mostly all of them are equally likely. So yeah, the person is mostly into 3 style, and the algs are intuitive, and yeah, so basically learning a bit about 5 style will be good. And let's see. um, so yeah, one more really good feedback is, I think there are diminishing returns, and they can be roughly sorted out by how good they are relative to 3 style algs. So yeah, GBLL is that there are 500 algs in GBLL, but I doubt that could be brought to, he's talking now about 5 style, is 5 style being brought to a few thousand, the subset of the 5 style brought to only a few thousand, so that it becomes easier to learn the alg set. Yes. So now here is one more feedback, is learning all these algs is tough. Even if you group them in sets, it is tough. Learning 3 style in my opinion is better. It has shorter algs with good finger tricks. Few 5 style comps are worth better than 3 style comps for the same, but to be honest, 3 style is better. Yeah, it's an honest opinion. Yes. Yeah, so it is in practically large number of algs, and recall would never be faster on average than doing 2 3 style algs. This is true if you're starting out, but it improves as you learn more. I think it's really cool. I always thought that many events have much room for improvement if people started learning large alg set. I personally don't know how viable it is, but I'm excited where it goes. So yeah, this guy is really an optimist, so it's good to see. So you can be practical, but practical with optimism is the best combination. Yes. Now I come to the really big and bit negative answer, but I'll read it out. So I think it is at best extremely impractical. I appreciate your enthusiasm and I think you have a good intention. However, effectively memorizing and utilizing this alg set is not feasible for a human. Even if it was, at what cost would it come? In order to achieve your proposed 5 style, you need to absorb 70 algs a day. It's insane amount of time and is simply not possible while having other responsibilities, interests. Yeah, this is true. Even if this 5 year plan is stretched out to 10 years, still you have 35 algs a day. This is further complemented by the fact that you need to retain this information over long term, and you need to be constantly reviewing and practicing them, and which is also very impractical. So as far as learning small alg sets go, this isn't useful enough outside very niche applications and a lot of memo info etc. Your attaching to each case won't be useful for this application, as they would probably be cited solves. I didn't get this point, but yeah, please try not to take this too harshly, but I think you are hyper fixating on this and I am genuinely concerned for you. I think you're trapping yourself in sinking all of your time into this with the language like since I'm invested into this method, I don't want to back out, which is kind of can be an ego issue, because if you think you have spent time on it, so you should not give up on it. It's a good thing, but sometimes you have to move on. So I get the point what he is trying to say. So I really like the last statement that he says, is that the time you spend on this would be much better spent on your career in machine learning or astrophysics. Both are very cool. The whole world is out there. Spend your time wisely and get out there and live your life. Yeah, it's a really nice message at the end. Yeah. Another opinion is interested in 5 style algs for 3 style alg pairs that are absolutely horrid when needing to be one after another. So he's looking at a subset where two 3 style algs are a bit awkward when paired up together. So in my opinion, two easy 3 styles also have a easier 5 style alg, and two harder 3 style algs have a not so good 5 style alg. The speed up is in the move count and the fluidity. So another opinion is, I think 5 style has a lot of potential. My main concern is that this with alg set this large is recalling the algs. So I have no doubt someone can memorize this many algs, but I'm not sure how quickly and practically you would be able to recall them in the sol. I think it's a great experiment and could be the future of blind if it proves successful. So yeah, just to be clear, recall is the major concern about this alg set and major concern among the public, and my answer to that is recall can be trained. It's not a thing that like in the first try you do, if you don't recall, it means it's very hard. Recall can be trained. You really underestimate your own brain. It's capable of lots of stuff, and also like recall in 3BLD has to be very fast. So that's why I think 3 style is good for 3BLD. So but 5 style is really good for MBLD because your recall is paced up over last time, like around 20 minutes you are recalling. So 5 style is good in that case. Yeah, if someone starts learning the most important algorithms at an early age as a kid, it could be powerful for BLD. But for someone older and busier, it would have to be a true dedication. Can humans quickly recall that many algorithms? That needs some evidence. So this is the opinion of most of the top blind solvers. They say that it's so much time and effort that only a kid should take it up, or if it's an adult like me, there should be some evidence that it works out. Otherwise no one is going to assist, which is not the case. Right now I have a budding community. There are like at least 20 to 30 people helping me in finding out good algs, commenting on algs, helping me improve on those algs, and also letter chords, improving on letter chords, getting me more like getting my mind to be more tuned to letter chords. So it a lot of help on the Discord I get. Okay, so let's come to the next. While it could be useful to people who have plateaued in 3 style, as I said, most algs are unwieldingly to perform, and I think reconstruction would be extremely hard to do first. I disagree. Reconstruction is super easy to do. It takes like few minutes and it's fun. Also, there are some cancellations between 5 star algs, which is fun to do. Imagine having 130k algs in your memory similar to each other that do different things. Your brain could theoretically be good in 5 style, like how people memo lot of digits of pi, but honestly for a sport like cubing where luck is involved, maybe it's not good in terms of invest return. But only that's my opinion. I honestly don't know how many algs you know. Maybe you know a lot of them and can do them consistently, in which case congrats. So yeah, currently I have around 35,000 algs. I'm familiar with them. Let's say I've done one review of them, but if you want to have in comp setting, I will be only able to pull off 5k algs reliably and with less recall. So that's the thing. Training recall and getting consistent is the key. Okay, next one is, it seems absurdly large to learn, but you seem to have a good system for memorizing them, and your development of 5 style is one of the most impressive things I've ever seen, and is probably the last innovation we see in blind, which isn't true. We will see a lot of more fine tuning, especially like the cube by Long GTS1. It was a magic cube for BLD. The innovation stopped there. Like more improvements should have been done on hardware. Also on similar to like algs, also 3 style we are coming full parity, full floating, but we are not going forward. And even if 5 style is the mainstream 10 years later on, still there is a lot of things to do. So yeah, this is another opinion. Very interesting theoretical concept. Not doing BLD, I cannot judge the relevance and incremental contribution of 5 style, nor do I know enough about it to understand to what extent it is really an alg set versus a way to training a brain to do mental solves from an initial state. I really did not understand this. It's an alg set. 5 style is an alg set. It's not like some kind of philosophy or something. It's a hardcore It's a hardcore set that you learn. I'd love if we had methods to do so, but memorizing the whole thing currently seems impossible, even from mathematical standpoint. How is it impossible from mathematical standpoint? You have billions of neurons and you have 100,000 algs. You have a finite time, but it's quite a lot of time. With spaced repetition, it's possible. But the thing is, most humans won't be able to do because it requires a lot of time and effort and patience and dedication. So that's why it's harder, but it's definitely practically and mathematically possible. Okay, I do think that using methods for selecting certain sets of 5-style algorithms similar to the way that ZBLL is used these days might have quite a potential. Interesting. Okay. It would be really boring to learn this many algs by memorization. Instead, you can create a variant of commutator that can explain the noobs how 5-style works. There has to be a way. So yeah, just to be clear, I am also grouping 5-style by com. So most of the 5-style algs can be broken into com notation. All of them can be broken, but it takes quite a lot of smartness and presence of mind to break all of them into com notation, but most of them can be broken. So it is intuitive to understand as long as you push your intuition. It's easy to learn all of them. So way too many algs to be worth. Once you have memorized them, it's in your head, but then you have to train them, and since there are that many of them, it will take thousands of solves to get case once. You won't be able to get fast with it. The human lifespan is too short to be able to practice every alg consistently. So yeah, just to be clear, 5-style is like about 5% of my life. The rest of 95% of my life I'm doing other stuff. So, and still my life is at a very young stage. There is a lot of time, and this project takes at least a few years, but it's not the entire life. Also, he said that it takes thousands of solves to get a case. This is true. It takes few thousand solves to get every case, assuming each case is equally likely, which it is true theoretically, but practically it may not be. Yeah. So Giant said, but not impossible to learn. We cannot be sure about whether or not a buffer is right choice. That depends on algorithm itself and can be very tough to check for speed optimality. So I have answers to both of this. A buffer UF is good, or any U layer buffer is good for 5-style. So UL, UB or UR, and it's very easy to check speed optimality. I just drill 2 3-style algs, add up their times, and I drill 5-style alg and average of them. I have currently found out that 5-style algs are around 20-30% faster, can be pushed to around 40% faster than 3-style algs as well, overall, statistically speaking, not case wise. So there is a way of checking speed optimality, but it is again requires a lot of time, effort and collaborative effort, so it cannot be done by one person. The more I look at it, the more intuitive things and patterns come to me. There might be several steps to learn them, but first being only setups like MU, M prime, U prime, and patterns to improve ad cases. So I think so. This isn't a well-formed opinion, but well-formed answer. But I get the point. Yeah. You need to be absurdly dedicated to even think about learning this. It would be faster than 3-style and therefore the fastest blind medal. There are a decent chance that you will be the only person until you get a world record with it, because absolutely no one will put in the effort unless they can see it being best in practice. So yeah, best in practice is the key word here. You have to prove that it's best in practice, but it doesn't happen overnight. Like most of the things in the world, many things take a lot of nights to make them work. So 5-style is one of them. 5-style is not comparable with GBLL. It's order of 2 or 3 orders of magnitude difference. Anyone who has learned any of these algs like Megamix, last layer and GBLL know how much work it takes to learn and maintain, and can tell you it's obviously impossible to learn and maintain an alg 500 times as large. Yeah, what I would say in response is cubing is young. Mostly people who are learning this algs are teenagers, so there isn't a professional approach. So I'll give an example of chess. In chess, people remember way more information than 5-style, and they do it at a really in few years, and they are able to maintain it. So it's possible. I think if you can understand how it works intuitively, then you can easily implement in your solves. Like how many people do not learn F12 cases perform F12. F12 and 5 still are different, but I don't understand this analogy. However, I do not think this requires quite a bit of mental capacity. Even if it could be learned intuitively, many people would neglect to 5 style as only minimally faster and takes 100 times the effort. So this mathematics doesn't work out, but it's not minimally faster, it's quite fast. Like some of the executions that I've done have been like 5 seconds, 6 seconds. So 5 seconds execution and 6 seconds execution on 3 by 3, which is insane. And effort is not exactly 100 times, it depends. So the effort for me is quite a lot because I'm the first person to do it. But the effort for, let's say, the nth person, let's say he or she is the, like say, 20th or 30th person to learn 5 style, it will be not that much. It will just be a few years and it will be doable. Okay, I really like the concept of it, but I think GBLL, I think of it as GBLL equivalent of 3 style. I also remember seeing that article that you wrote about application of 5 style, and it sounded really cool as well. It's just that some cases seem really unergonomic and weird, and doing 2-3 styles would be faster, even if learning 1/4 of the case doesn't seem worth it, considering they are not guaranteed to show up every solve. But I really like your dedication towards it. Yeah, thanks for it. And also most of the algs, even 3 style algs, when you do them at the first, they seem weird. So you have to give a few minutes to the alg for the alg to not feel weird. And you definitely make sense. So not all algs are weird forever. If you give them some time, it's easy. If there is a good way to teach these algs, especially how to recognize them, then it's kind of bad. But sounds it would be have noticeable benefits for 3 by 3 solvers and MBLD solvers, which is true. So let's see about letter chords. Letter chords is another big project, and letter chords is much easier to do than 5 style, and letter chords improves memo by insane amount. Like 3 BLD people memorize it as one sentence, or like in MBLD, one 3 BLD cube is around like 2 locations in a Roman room. But when I'm doing 5 style, it's just like one image is equal to 1 cube, and it's powerful. Yeah, so in this I also put in linguistics. So people had the opinion about letter chords, whether it improves linguistics or not, and here is one answer. So linguistics with most subject area requires active deliberate study in order to see meaningful improvements, gains in knowledge. You cannot see improvement in linguistics by memorizing large amounts of unrelated material, which I kind of get what he's trying to say. But again, the more time you spend with letter chords, and the more you understand that it's a really good way of thinking. Even though it's a memorization system, your thoughts kind of become like letter chords, and it's a crazy thing. Like it's like meta. It's the new language if it gains traction. Yeah, lots more to think. But yeah, here is one important opinion on the topic of letter chords. I think someone could get away just with 2 letter pairs. There shouldn't be any time save advantage while doing memo during blind solve if someone has good think ahead. I think so. Think ahead is during execution, but yeah, think ahead can be towards the end of the memo as well. Yeah, I think letter chords are used for memorizing algs with your notation as well, but I've noticed a lot of letter chords are just 2 words. So you might as well use 2 letter pairs. Only advantage I could see is less repetitive memo in MBLD, which could be solved by making alternate words for letter pairs. So I use letter pairs also. I use letter triads also. So I have tons of words and images for each letter pair. So like 10 or 12, similar to like people having lots of algs for OLL. So if you do OLL, OLLCP, OLL from the back, same case you have multiple algs. Similarly for same letter pair I have lot of cases. But the thing is, letter chords do help. There is a speed up, and it also depends on your tracing ability. So tracing ability is constant if you are doing letter pairs or letter chords memo, but your retention and the amount of mental effort reduces. Yeah, now let's come back to limits of blind solving. People are saying 12 second, 10 second. Here is an interesting limit. I don't know who wrote this. It is anonymous, but it is 4-second memo, 7-second execution for 3BLD, 15-second memo, 30 for 4BLD, 30-second memo, 70-second exec for 5BLD, and 90 plus points for MBLD, which is kind of like I agree with all of them. So a good job on whoever predicted all this. It's a good splits. So yeah, sub 10 WR averaging 16 to 18. Tommy Cherry is already faster than 16 to 18. Guys, speed up. So around 10 seconds, 9 seconds. Yeah, sub 15, 6 to 10 seconds average exec speed. Depends on the TPS. Here is another guess is 12 to 15 seconds for 3BLD, 45 to 50 seconds for 4BLD. Again, it's a bit on the not so pushy side, because people are already sub 1 in 4BLD Stanley, so it's possible to reach this limit if you are lucky. 130 in 5BLD is very hard, that I can say. 75 points in MBLD, so Row Hessler already has sub-hour 70 cubes, so 75 is possible, definitely. So yeah, 4BLD sub 1 has already been done. 5BLD sub 2 is much harder, but yeah, sky is the limit. I really like this answer. Let's read about let's read a big answer about what is the limit. So if you talk about absolute limits of humans in blind, it would probably be some sort of cited speed solving method with advanced way of tracing the algs, one looking the 3x3. I don't think it's possible. There is SpeedBLD where people try and trace out the entire CFOP or Rusol and then blindfold themselves and solve it, but this is not possible because the memo time is also counted. So yeah, CFOP with max TPS could be average sub 4 execution, and memo I absolutely have no idea. Someone could come up with incredibly intelligent tracing system to be able to memo fast enough to beat something out like full 5 style, because 5 style would be slower exec but much faster memo. I don't understand the opinion completely, but yeah, the memo would be much faster in 5 style, also the exec too. So yeah, a lot of people trying to give limits. Another one is sub 12 in 3BLD, 80 to 85 cubes in MBLD, mid to low 40s in 4BLD, and 150 ish in 5BLD. 150 in 5BLD is really tough, but yeah. So yeah, I really like this answer. Is one of the scariest things about 5 style compared to 3 style is lack of intuitiveness. Again, intuitiveness comes once you train and get more familiar with 5 style. It is not like you'll never get the intuition. It's not rote learning. There is a lot of sense when you try and learn 5 style. That being said, I have seen intuitive templates if you are doing 5 cycles, but they tend to be rather long and arguably quite complicated. Obviously it's complicated. You are trying to solve 4 pieces at once, actually 5 pieces at once, but the one piece is the buffer piece. But yeah, yeah, so I won't be trying. This person tried and say that my feedback form could be improved, so yeah, I'll try and do that as well. 5 style painful. 5 style is not painful at all. There are other things in life that I currently do. So I try and learn astrophysics. I try and play chess. Both of them are way more painful than 5 style. So no matter how big or small, how stupid or innovative the idea is, an idea is an idea. If you get it, that means you are understanding the puzzle and want to contribute to the community in a positive way. Hence, any and every idea must be allowed. That's whether it's as huge as 5 style or GVLL or as revolutionary as CFOP, RU and ZZ. I agree. Every idea must be pursued, and my main aim with 5 style is just to see if it works out. If it doesn't work out for the next 100-200 years, no one will be pursuing it. And the reason being because I worked it out, so people know what's the likely outcome and people won't be pursuing. That's how even scientific research goes, and I have a very scientific approach when I want to like accomplish something like letter cards and 5 star. Yeah, so I use yellow top and orange front, which is an old school orientation. Uh, yeah. So yeah, this is really nice. It's good to explore new areas in cubing, even if they aren't feasible right now. This is the way discoveries are made. Whether when someone steps out of their norm and tries things dismissed by others. So this is the answer by written by Shivam, and I completely agree. Many things that we take now for granted is made. It was ridiculed and laughed up at first, and later on, people found that it is useful. So yeah, this sums up the feedback. Really thanks ton of you guys. Let me just shout out the names. So there was Bhargav, there was Shivam, there was Ru people, Dusky, Delta Phi, Patrick, Vishwanath Jayaraman, Janak, Cubing Forever, DRL, and Riff, and Lazy Einstein, Derder, Athrifre. He's really good in cubing methods. Average Italian, a lot of people, Masterize, Panda, Goose, Flatmass. These are good people who like to do BLD, but they aren't having any records, but they are really good. Ethan Pan, Not Alvin, Gaurav Bastani, Mark, Otter Cuber, Krav, Aldelt, and Strider, Six Side, Liam the Best, Shivam, Nitin, and Dave, Willie, and Ananya, and Enu. So massive thanks to all of them, and I really hope to make another video, follow-up video, when I receive 100 more responses. Really fun, and I really love the support and the kindness that everyone is showing. Also, I like the criticalness that people are doing. So there are a lot of top blind solvers who don't buy 5 style, but what I really like is they are very critical about it. So being critical is very important, and I want them to be as critical as possible, because that will help me not go astray and stay on point and achieve something actually. So yeah, thanks for seeing this feedback video, and yeah, just enjoy 5 style, enjoy cubing, enjoy life. See you next time. Bye.